Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. I'm really glad you are here today. Take a moment to relax. Take a deep breath. And let's spend a little time learning something meaningful together. Today, we are going to talk about something very important. We are going to talk about the way successful people think. Many people want to be successful. Many people want a better life. Many people want more freedom, but many people also ask the same question. Why do some people succeed while others give up? Is it talent? Is it luck? Is it money? Some people believe successful people are simply lucky. Some people believe successful people are born with special talent. And some people believe success only comes from money. But if you listen carefully to successful people, you will hear something interesting. Again and again, they say the same thing. Success begins in the mind. Success begins with the way you think. Successful people think differently. They see problems differently. They see time differently. They see failure differently. And this small difference in thinking can change everything. Your thoughts shape your choices. Your choices shape your actions. Your actions shape your habits. And your habits shape your future. So if you want to change your future, you must first change the way you think. Let me ask you a simple question. When something goes wrong in your life, what do you usually think? Do you think, why is this happening to me? Or do you think, what can I learn from this? This small difference in thinking can completely change your life. Many successful people train their minds to ask better questions. They do not only ask, why is this difficult? Instead, they ask, what can this teach me? They do not only ask, why did this happen? They ask, what can I do next? This way of thinking gives them power, because when you ask better questions, you get better answers. And when you get better answers, you make better decisions, and better decisions slowly build a better life. One famous example of this mindset is Thomas Edison. Thomas Edison was the inventor of the light bulb, but many people do not know how difficult his journey was. Before he created the light bulb, he tried thousands of experiments. Again and again, his experiments failed. Again and again, things did not work. Many people around him thought he should stop. Many people thought it was impossible. But Edison thought differently. He did not see failure the same way other people did. He believed every failure was a lesson. One day, a reporter asked him a question. The reporter said, "You have failed thousands of times. How does it feel to fail so many times?" Edison gave a very interesting answer. He said, "I did not fail. I just discovered thousands of ways that do not work." Think about that for a moment. Most people see failure as the end. But Edison saw failure as information. He saw failure as learning. He saw failure as progress. Because of this mindset, he continued working. He continued experimenting. He continued learning. And eventually, he succeeded. His invention changed the world. And his story teaches us an important lesson. Success often begins with a different way of thinking. Successful people do not see obstacles the same way others do. They see opportunities where others see problems. They see lessons where others see failure. And they see the future where others only see the present. This is the beginning of the success mindset. Successful people think differently. And the good news is this: anyone can learn this way of thinking. You do not need to be born special. You do not need to be rich. You do not need to be famous. You only need to start training your mind, one thought at a time, one question at a time, one decision at a time. And slowly your thinking begins to change. And when your thinking changes, your life begins to change too. In the next part of this story, we will explore the first thinking habit of successful people, and you may discover that success is not as mysterious as it seems. It often begins with small changes in the way we think. Now let's explore the thinking habits of successful people. Successful people often think in ways that are different from most people. These ways of thinking are not complicated. They are simple, but they are powerful, and anyone can learn them. Let's begin with the first thinking habit. Successful people think long-term. Many people only think about today. They think about comfort. They think about what feels easy right now. They think about what feels good today. But successful people think differently. They think about tomorrow. They think about next year. They think about the future they want to build. When they make a decision, they ask an important question. They ask, will this help my future? Sometimes the best choice is not the easiest choice. Sometimes the best choice is the difficult one. Studying can be difficult. Learning a new skill can be difficult. Practicing every day can be difficult. But successful people understand something important. Today's effort creates tomorrow's results. One great example of long-term thinking is Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan is often called the greatest basketball player in history. But his story did not begin with success. When he was in high school, he tried to join the basketball team. But something surprising happened. He was cut from the team. He was told he was not good enough. Imagine how that must have felt. Many people would have quit. Many people would have believed the coach. But Michael Jordan thought differently. Instead of quitting, he worked harder. He practiced every day. He trained longer than everyone else. He stayed in the gym. He improved little by little. Year after year, he kept working. Eventually, he became one of the greatest athletes in the world. Michael Jordan once said something very famous. I have failed over and over again in my life, and that is why I succeed. That is long-term thinking. Successful people think about the future, and they continue improving every day. The second thinking habit is responsibility. Successful people take responsibility for their lives. When something goes wrong, many people look for someone to blame. They blame their boss. They blame their family. They blame the economy. They blame bad luck. But successful people think differently. Instead of blaming others, they ask a different question. They ask, what can I learn from this? This question changes everything. Because when you ask this question, you begin to grow. Every mistake becomes a lesson. Every problem becomes a teacher. Every failure becomes information. One powerful example of this mindset is Oprah Winfrey. Oprah Winfrey is one of the most famous television hosts in the world, but her life was not easy. She grew up in poverty. She experienced many difficulties when she was young. Later, when she started working in television, something unexpected happened. She was fired from her news job. Her boss told her she was not good for television. Imagine hearing that. Many people would feel discouraged. Many people would give up on their dream. But Oprah did something different. She continued learning. She continued improving. She continued believing in herself. Eventually, she created her own talk show. That show became one of the most successful talk shows in history. Her story teaches us something powerful. Your past does not control your future. Your mindset does. Successful people take responsibility, and responsibility gives them power. The third thinking habit is how successful people see problems. Most people try to avoid problems. Problems feel uncomfortable. Problems feel stressful. But successful people understand something important. Problems are part of growth. Every new goal brings new challenges. Every new level in life brings new problems. So successful people do not run away from problems. They face them. They study them. They learn from them. When a problem appears, they ask an important question. They ask, what is the opportunity here? A great example of this mindset is Walt Disney. Today, Disney is known all over the world. Millions of people love Disney movies, but the beginning of his story was very different. When Walt Disney was young, he worked for a newspaper, but he lost his job. His boss said he had no imagination. Think about that for a moment. The man who created Mickey Mouse was told he had no imagination. Many people would have believed that criticism. Many people would have stopped trying. But Walt Disney continued creating. He continued dreaming. He continued building new ideas. Years later, he built one of the most famous entertainment companies in the world. His story reminds us of something important. Other people may doubt you, but you must not doubt yourself. The fourth thinking habit is daily improvement. Successful people believe in small progress. They do not expect instant success. They understand that success grows slowly. They focus on daily habits. They read a little every day. They practice a little every day. They improve a little every day. At first, the progress may feel small. At first, the improvement may feel slow. But small improvements grow over time. Small improvements become habits, and habits shape your life. This is why successful people focus on consistency. They show up every day, even when they feel tired, even when they feel unmotivated. They continue moving forward because they know something important. Small progress every day creates extraordinary results. Now take a moment to think about your own life. How do you see challenges? How do you see failure? How do you see your future? Do you think only about today, or do you think about tomorrow? Do you blame others, or do you ask, what can I learn? These small differences in thinking can shape your entire life. And the good news is this: you can begin changing your thinking today. One thought at a time, one decision at a time, one small action at a time. In the final part of this story, we will talk about how small changes in thinking can completely change your future, and you will see why success always begins in the mind. Now we have talked about several thinking habits of successful people. We talked about long-term thinking. We talked about responsibility. We talked about learning from problems. And we talked about improving a little every day. But now an important question remains. How can we apply these ideas in our own lives? How can we start thinking like successful people? The truth is simple. Big changes often begin with small steps. You do not need to change everything today. You only need to start with one small change, one new thought, one better question, one small action. Successful people often train their minds by asking powerful questions. Instead of asking, why is this happening to me? They ask, what can I learn from this? Instead of asking, why is this so difficult? They ask, what skill do I need to learn? Instead of asking, what if I fail? They ask, what if I grow? These questions slowly change the way they see the world. And when your perspective changes, your life begins to change. Let me share one more example. One famous example is Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs helped create one of the most innovative companies in the world. But many people do not know an important part of his story. At one point in his life, he was fired from his own company. Yes, the company he started. Imagine creating something and then losing it. Many people would feel devastated. Many people would give up. But Steve Jobs did something different. He used that experience as an opportunity to grow. He started new companies. He explored new ideas. He continued learning. Years later, he returned to Apple. And under his leadership, Apple created revolutionary products. Products that changed technology and communication around the world. Steve Jobs later said something very powerful. He said that being fired from Apple was one of the best things that happened to him. Why? Because it forced him to grow. It forced him to think differently. And it opened the door to new possibilities. His story reminds us of something important. Sometimes our biggest setbacks can lead to our greatest growth. If we choose the right mindset. Successful people understand this. They understand that life will always bring challenges. There will always be difficulties. There will always be uncertainty. But they also understand something else. Every challenge carries a lesson. Every difficulty carries an opportunity. And every setback can become a new beginning. Now think about your own life. Think about the challenges you have faced. Think about the difficulties you have experienced. Maybe some of those moments felt like failures. Maybe some of those moments felt painful. But what if those moments were also lessons? What if those experiences were preparing you for something greater? Successful people often see their past in a different way. They do not only see mistakes, they see growth. They see learning. They see progress. And this mindset gives them strength. Because when you believe that every experience can help you grow, you become more courageous. You become more resilient. You become more willing to try again. And that is one of the greatest secrets of success. Successful people do not simply avoid failure. They grow through failure. They learn from failure. They use failure as a step forward. Over time, this mindset creates powerful change. Because success is not built in one day. Success is built one day at a time, one decision at a time, one improvement at a time, one step at a time. And those small steps slowly create a new future. Remember this simple idea. Your thoughts shape your actions. Your actions shape your habits. Your habits shape your future. So if you want a different future, start with a different thought. Start asking better questions. Start choosing growth. Start taking small steps forward. You do not have to be perfect. You only have to keep moving forward. Even small progress matters. Even small improvements matter. Because small changes repeated every day can completely change your life. Before we finish, remember this. Success does not begin with money. Success does not begin with fame. Success begins in the mind. It begins with the way you think. So start today. Train your mind. Choose growth. Learn from every experience and keep moving forward. Thank you so much for spending this time with me today. I truly hope this story gave you something valuable. Maybe a new idea. Maybe a new perspective. Maybe a little motivation. Take care of yourself. Keep learning. Keep growing. And see you in the next story.